We also have breaking news in the case of the Maryland man who was mistakenly deported. Kilmar Abrego Garcia's story is now sparking protests nationwide. This is new video of hundreds of protesters right outside of Minneapolis, Minnesota. That's more than 1,000 miles away from Prince George's County. And here at home, that fight to bring him home is intensifying.
El Salvador's president, though, doubling down on his refusal to send Abrego Garcia back to the United States. But Senator Chris Van Hollen out of Maryland has some progress to report. And our Jacqueline Quinn joins us now from Dulles International Airport. And Jackie, Senator Van Hollen set to return today. We know that now after a last-minute breakthrough.
Oh, that's correct. You know, we are going to see him land here around 4 o'clock our time. He shared that picture. Everyone's talking about it of Kilmar Garcia, and everyone is happy because it shows that he's alive.
This morning, new reaction to this picture released overnight. Kilmar Abrego Garcia and Senator Chris Van Hollen meeting after the senator was initially turned away at the infamous Seacott prison, where the Maryland father, who was wrongly deported, has been held for about a month. No one may be happier to see that he's alive than his wife, telling us this morning through a statement, "My children and my prayers have been answered. The efforts of my family and community in fighting for justice are being heard because I now know that my husband is alive. God is listening and the community is standing strong." Jennifer Vasquez-Sura thanking Senator Van Hollen, who took matters into his own hands this week, working to negotiate Abrego Garcia's safe return. Already a clashing point between the judicial and executive branches. The courts have ordered the Trump administration to bring him home. Overnight, U.S. Border Czar Tom Homan holding the line, saying they are not defying the judge's orders.
No court order was disobeyed. I said again, the facts of the case have changed since that court order came down. The withholding, I think, set aside because he is now classified as a terrorist, and he wasn't back when that court order was given.
And that's another big concern, whether Garcia's had due process.
They're trying to make this case about Kilmar all about MS-13, when in fact the judge in the case has said they've not provided substantial or any significant evidence to back up their claim.
So we're expecting Senator Van Hollen to land here again around 4. We're going to have crews here and potentially to ask him what steps will be taken next to bring Abrego Garcia back home. For now, I'll send it back to you guys.
All right, Jacqueline Quinn with the latest. Jackie, we also know that the senator met with the U.S. Embassy in El Salvador, and they discussed the full range of important bilateral relations between the U.S. and El Salvador. So we'll see what happens next. Thanks for the latest.